Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to call this meeting to order. And the first thing on the meeting is appointment of Deputy Chief Elected Officer, Deputy Reeve. Al.
Thank you, Mr. Reeve, and members of council. As per the Alberta Municipal Government Act, Section 152.1, council must appoint one or more councillors as the deputy chief elected official to ensure that the office will be filled at all times. The MD procedure bylaw allows council to either appoint two councillors to each act as deputy reeve for a term of 6 months, or one councillor to serve as deputy reeve for the entire one-year term. If council chose to appoint two councillors to each act as deputy reeve for a 6-month term, the first term would commence effective immediately April 30th, 2023, and the second term would commence May 1st, 2023 until October 31st, 2023. Previous terms were held as follows: in 2020, first 6-month term by Councillor Scarson, second term by Councillor Deschênes; 2021, one-year term by Councillor Kreviak; 2022, first 6-month term by Councillor Swaggart, second term by Councillor Fadeev. So administrative recommended action is that councillor, at council's discretion, be nominated to serve as deputy reeve to the Municipal District of Bonnyville number 87 for a one-year term effective immediately.
Yeah,
I thought that
Councillor.
we decided that Mr. Fadeev was going to be for a year and a half, wasn't that?
I think it was for a year, but then the way the thing read, so I think we should just make it for another year. If you guys, if everyone's in agreement, someone make a motion. Because I think 6 months, that's what we just discussed, was too short of a time for a deputy reeve. You can't
Yeah.
go through the full. And I think at that time we were thinking it was a year, so I don't see no reason why we can't put it for another year.
Yeah, I'll make the motion that Councillor Fadeev is nominated as deputy reeve for the next year.
All right, thank you, Councillor Scarson, for making a motion that Councillor Fidel be nominated to serve again as Deputy Reeve for the Municipal District of Bonnyville number 87 for a one-year term effective immediately. Any discussion on this? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
Yeah.
6 more months, though. Mr. Reed,
Sorry, go ahead.
just a question. So is that 6 more months, or is that another one-year term
It says 1 year
1 year from today.
from today?
Mr. Reeve,
Yeah.
Councillor Slipchuk is just offline. If he could vote by hand, and we'll get him reset for his application.
You can just vote by hand for no. All right. That's carried. I guess if it's not written there, I don't read it, so we need a motion to adopt this agenda, this org meeting agenda.
Sure, I'll make that motion, Mr. Reeve.
Thank you, Councillor Kreviak, for making the motion to adopt this agenda. Any discussion on this? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote, or do you want that one by hand as well? No? Okay. Just give her a little bit of time. I kind of snuck that one on. Apologize, guys. I'm getting ahead of myself. Do we need to do that first motion over again for deputy, or that's fine? Okay. See how much of a mess I put us in?
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. In the olden days, that would be like beating. You're beating me. Sorry, I think, who made that motion? Councillor Kreviak made the motion. Okay, here it is.
It's still not working.
you're on the wrong meeting. It's the first one, yeah. Go back to your. Yeah, so go back one more time. Yep. Don't worry, I did the same thing this morning. He's just gonna go by hand again, so he's in favor. Carried, thank you. Okay, we're gonna go to number 3, scheduling of regular council and committee of the whole meetings.
Thank you, Mr. Reeve, members of council. As per the Alberta Municipal Government Act, Section 193(1), council may decide to hold regular scheduled meetings on specific dates, times, and places. Administration is bringing forward the proposed schedule for the regular meeting of council and committee of the whole meetings for 2023, including the budget deliberations for the 2024 budget later in the year. All meetings have already been scheduled for 2022. However, the meetings for 2023 will need to be scheduled by council. Council currently holds regular meetings of council on the second and fourth Wednesday of each month, and its committee of the whole meetings on the third Wednesday of each month. On October 19th, 2022, administration presented to the committee of the whole proposing to change the weekday for holding these meetings from Wednesday to Tuesday. This change would bring the MD of Bonnyville's meeting schedule in line with the majority of other municipalities, alleviating some issues that have come up in the past, primarily relating to scheduling conflicts. The committee of the whole passed a motion recommending that council changes the days for holding regular meetings of council and committee of the whole meetings from Wednesdays to Tuesdays effective January the 1st of 2023. As such, administration is recommending that council proceed with scheduling regular meetings of council on the second and fourth Tuesday of each month, and its committee of the whole meetings on the third Tuesday of each month, with the meetings commencing at 9 a.m. in council chambers. The following dates are also being brought forward for council's consideration for cancellation in 2023. Regular meetings of council, April 11th, 2023, as that is the Alberta Economic Development Leaders Summit and Conference. May 23rd of 2023, that's the Federation of Canadian Municipalities Conference. July 25th and August 8th, as there's typically only one meeting per month in the summer. And December 26th, 2023 is Christmas break. Committee of the whole meetings, January 17th to 2023, as that's the Alberta Board Conference. March 21 of 2023, that's the RMA Rural Municipalities of Alberta Spring Convention. June 20th for summer, July 18th for summer, and August 15th for summer. Additionally, administration would like to schedule a separate 3-day committee of the whole meeting to facilitate 2024 budget deliberations starting on Wednesday, November 1st, 2023 at 9 a.m. in council chambers and running through to Friday, November 3rd, 2023, or as required. Attached for council review is the appendix with the council meeting schedule for all Alberta municipalities, so council can see what the majority of municipalities are doing. So our administrative recommendation is that council hold its regular meetings of council on the second and fourth Tuesday of each month, and its committee of the whole meeting on the third Tuesday of each month, with the meetings commencing at 9 a.m. in council chambers for the year of 2023, with the exception of the following meeting dates: January 17th, March 21st, April 11th, May 23rd, June 20th, July 18th, July 25th, August 8th, August 15th, and December 26th. And furthermore, the council approves scheduling a committee of the whole meeting for Wednesday, November 1st, 2023, commencing at 9 a.m. in council chambers for the 2024 budget deliberation, and directs administration to schedule 3 full days for the meeting as required. You can see your council options and open for any questions.
It's pretty clear, and I think we talked about this during the committee at whole, and yeah, I think any dates that we're missing, I don't think so.
I think the bigger question is, Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't know what everyone feels on that. Yeah,
Well, I'll let you know that, whenever I signed up to be a counselor, it was based on Wednesdays, and there's gonna be times where I'm gonna be missing meetings, and I'm just letting you guys aware, right? Because my whole work schedule is based on a Wednesday meeting, so, whatever the council decides, I'll try and make work, but I make Wednesdays. I don't know always about Tuesdays, so, just so you know.
okay. Yeah, Counselor
Yeah, I'm probably
Swagger?
still fine with Wednesdays. Sorry, I missed that last meeting, but what was the rationale for changing to Tuesday? What was the benefit?
I think a lot, it's to do with, missing, like, lots of things, like, most of the people do their meetings on Tuesday afternoon or Tuesday evenings, and a lot of other things that are scheduled throughout the provinces on Wednesdays. So we miss out on a lot of things, and then talking to staff, staff knows that most things happen, most meetings are on Tuesdays, so they're trying to just organize that we're all on the same page, I guess.
Well, we have here a third of the meetings that we're missing are on a Tuesday now. Would that be the same on a Wednesday, or, I mean, there's 4,
Yeah, you always miss some kind of meetings, no matter what
Yeah.
day. But does anyone want to speak from the staff, or Steph, do you want to speak at all on this? No? Yeah, Al?
It's just common.
Yeah,
It's
Mr.
very common?
Yeah, Mr. Reed, members of
Okay.
council, we're just out of sync with the vast majority of what the scheduling that takes place in the province, that's all. If it's, from an operational perspective, Wednesdays is fine, but we're just out of sync. For example, last committee of the whole meeting, the Reeve and I had to rush out to get to Edmonton for a minister's dinner, because they're scheduled, and the province, municipal affairs particularly, tries to schedule around the majorities. So you'll see very few provincial meetings scheduled on Mondays and Tuesdays, because Tuesdays is typically council meeting day, so those meetings typically start happening on Wednesdays and Thursdays during the week. So we're just out of sync with the vast majority of municipalities in the province.
Well, I think if we're out of sync with the mass majority, we should maybe get in sync then. That's just my view, but anyone else want to comment? Yeah, Counselor?
I'll just make the motion to approve this, and we can vote on it and see which way it goes.
Okay. You're going for option 2? I guess it's option 1 there.
Option 1. With the list that they've put up, yeah.
On my thing, sorry, it says option 2 here, or move number 2. Anyway, that's the one. Okay, thank you, Councillor Crick, for making a motion. On behalf of council, the council holds its regular meeting of council on the second and fourth Tuesday of each month, and a committee of the whole meeting on the third Tuesday of each month, with meetings commencing at 9 a.m. in council chambers for the year of 2023, with the exception of the following meeting dates, 1 through 10. Any discussion on this motion?
Yeah, Mr. Reeve. So
Yes, go
to Councilor Scarson, is going to be an issue for you to change your meetings to Tuesdays? That's going to be an issue?
it will be more of an issue than on Wednesdays for sure. And is this the same sheet, though, the appendix that was with this last package, Appendix A? Because it seems like there's a lot more Wednesdays and Thursdays on this one.
We were, through the Reeve, to Councillor Scarson, we were requested by Councillor Kreviak to provide a list of all rural municipalities, as opposed to just the random snapshot that we took. So we provided a list of all rural municipalities in the province.
Yeah, like there's Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays on this one, so. No. Whatever, you guys vote, and we'll see how it goes.
Any other discussion? Okay, seeing none, I'll call for the vote. That's carried. Okay, we're going to go on to number 4, scheduling.
Thank you, Mr. Reeve, and members of council. As per the Alberta Municipal Government Act, Section 192.1, council must hold an organizational meeting annually, not later than 2 weeks after the third Monday in October. Administration is recommending the 2023 organizational meeting be held on Tuesday, October 24th, 2023, commencing at 9 a.m. in council chambers.
All right, anyone like to make a motion?
Sure.
Yes?
I'll move that.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Crick, for making a motion on behalf of council. The council approves scheduling the 2023 org meeting on Tuesday, October 24th, 2023, commencing at 9 a.m. in council chambers. Any discussion on this? Yes, Councillor.
I'll just let you know that I probably won't be able to make it.
Okay. Any other discussion? They're going to give you all the tough ones then on that date.
Sure. As long as we're not on Tuesdays, I won't be able to, I think so.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. Carried. Okay, number 5, council appointments.
Thank you, Mr. Reed. Members of council, attached is a draft list of the 2022-2023 committees and boards outlining required council appointments. Administration is proposing a review of the draft 2022-2023 committees and board lists, since one has not been done in several years. And attached for your review is Appendix A, which is the draft committee and boards appointment list. Our recommended action is the council approves the following appointments of committee and board members effective October 26, 2022, as per the amended Appendix A. And at that point, I think it would be up to council to determine what committees stay or go, and who is appointed to each of those committees.
Yeah, go ahead, Deputy Reeve.
Yeah,
Finave.
good morning. Just in regards to the MD Assessment Review Board, that's a kind of a given there for me being chair as to 2024. We need to get somebody trained up for the next set around as well.
I'll just clarify, the council appointment is only for 1 year, so we would need to reappoint the councillor to that board for 2020, the 2022-2023 term.
Okay,
The members at large are appointed up until 2024.
gotcha. Okay, thank you. Thanks for clarifying. Yeah, I'll be happy to stay on for that one. And then, yeah, we have to get somebody else trained up for the following term.
Okay. Go ahead, Councillor
Yeah, a couple
Scarson.
things. So, the Regional Economic Development Committee, so I think that one's folded, right? So I don't know if that needs to come off there. And then also, so this is my 5th year on the C2 board, so I don't know if I passed my term or not, maybe, but, if someone else is interested in that one, I could definitely step down from there, so.
Is anyone interested in the C2 board, or want to trade one with Darcy, or
Yeah, if he wants to step down, I'll take C2.
you will? Okay.
Sure.
Would you like to give one, is there something that you'd like of,
Sure, he can have Leica. He can take that one.
Oh,
I don't have much to trade, actually.
okay, you're okay with that?
yeah, if he wants to go, for sure, it'd be good to get some fresh eyes there. Like I said, it's been 5 years now, so.
Okay,
And then I guess the other one is, the Sports Tourism Board, is that, I think that's not on here either. So I don't know if we're at with that or whatever, but,
okay. Yeah, Al, is there any, when did we discuss that board, or?
Well, once, to the Reeve and
It's
members
made.
of council, once the Sports Tourism Board, we get official buy-in from both the town and the
Yes.
city, we'll create that board and then,
Okay, then we can discuss it on a different meeting.
Exactly,
Yeah, that's-
correct.
Yeah, Deputy, is that all right? Good.
so I guess what's the timeline? I mean, we're pushing a year now since we started talking about that.
Timelines right now, I know it's with the economic development. Economic development is talking to town and taking the terms of reference to the town of Bonneville's economic development officer, who will provide that recommendation to their council. So, and then from there, once we achieve a decision from the town of Bonneville, we'll move on to the city of Cold Lake and get we probably anticipate, probably by the end of the year, that we'll have agreement by both the town and the city for that committee.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
I just have one more, and maybe it's an in-camera item about a member at large of one of the boards.
Okay.
Can we take one in camera?
Sure, I guess we don't have a
Yeah.
closed session, yeah? Okay, very good.
Oh, we do have a closed session?
Yeah, I see number 7.
Okay.
Okay, Deputy Reeve Fideo?
Yeah, Mr. Hogan, in regards to the regional part of it, is there going to be any appetite to do a regional economic development group that's going to move on some bigger issues and, I guess some bigger goals for the area at all?
Through the chair to Deputy Reeve Fadeev, I understand that the town, through our economic development officer, is talking about the creation of a new regional economic development committee that would do something a little bit different than the previous one. I don't have any details, as it's currently a town initiative, but there is a movement to create some regional, I think it's more related to tourism than it is to just economic development. So there is something happening on that front, but I have no details.
So would you know the definition of regional then? Because, if it's regional, if it's just between the town and the MD, it's not very regional. I think, if we're going to do something regional, we should, on a bigger term, or on a bigger part, we should look at the city of Cold Lake and also maybe even Glendon and maybe St. Paul and even Lac La Biche.
Through the Reeve to Councilor Fadeev, I wouldn't disagree with that assessment at all.
Thanks.
And Mr. Reeve, if it would be possible to move through the list one by one?
Is that the way, best way to go through it?
I think Stephanie is, probably we're just going to get confused as to, so
Okay.
we've currently got Deputy Reeve Fadeev as the MD Assessment Review Board.
Yep.
Then there's the MD Assessment Review Board, which I believe Deputy Reeve Fadeev currently sits on as the chair as well.
Okay, I just thought if we weren't changing much, we would just keep it the same and then make a, but if you want to go one by one, we can.
Mr.
Well-
Reeve?
Yes,
Sorry, I'll just quickly interrupt. I misspoke earlier. Deputy Reeve Fideo is actually appointed to the Assessment Review Boards for 3 years, so he is there appointed until 2024 as the counselor. Sorry, my apologies.
no problem.
And Mr. Reeve, just kind of, I guess, for clarification, when I'm looking through these lists with the dates are as they were, like most of them are still 2021 to 2020, or 2020 to 2022, so are we updating these dates too as we go, so?
That's just to indicate to you as council who currently sits on those boards and committees and their term.
Okay.
Okay, well then you guys want to do a blanket or do you go through one at a time? One at a time? Yeah, Deputy Reeve?
Yeah, since we're going one at a time, so the ICFs, since we really haven't been talking about that, I kind of skip over that. There's Protective Services, BRFA, talking about, I'd like to see Councilor Scarson.
Right there.
I'm sorry, Councilor Slipchuk. Yeah, so in regards to the BRFA, I know there's been some long-term members there, and I'd like to see, Councilor Scarson go on that board.
Yeah,
CC.
thank you, Mr. Reeve. I've been on there for a while. There's HSAA negotiations now for EMS on November 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and also one day in December. So, I'm willing to stay on, but it's up to council. I mean, you'll have to be with the negotiation team.
Well, last meeting, a couple meetings ago, we appointed him as in these motions because of his experience. So that's why we appointed him to that, so kind of tough to take him off right now, but I guess it's up to.
Whatever you guys decide, yeah.
Mr. Reeve, I just think if anybody wants to speak up about any of the boards they're on and they want to change, let them speak up.
Yeah,
And I think we were kind of doing that, and like Councilor Scarson started that, and I don't have any issues with any of the rest of them, but.
yeah, it's kind of,
Yeah, we also kind of agreed that, all these all these have to, you know, like, you have to be there at least for 2 years to kind of see it.
Yes.
And it's been good. I think next organizational meeting will be a lot different, but. for
Switching
sure.
up a lot more
Yeah,
stuff.
absolutely, right, and a lot of the stuff here, so.
So,
I'd like to
Mr.
see
Eve,
that.
if I might, so then the MD Assessment Review Board is going to stay as Deputy Reeve Fadeev. The MD Assessment Review Board Composite will stay as Deputy Reeve Fadeev.
Yep.
The Regional Economic Development Committee is deleted. The Alberta Bilingual Municipality Association will remain as Councillor Scarson and Reeve Kalinsky. Committee of the Whole is Committee of the Whole. The ICFs will remain as they're indicated there. Bonneville Regional Fire Authority, and there was some discussion on that. The Emergency Advisory Committee needs 2 councillors. There are no councillors named to that committee. So under Protective Services, is the fire service staying the way it is?
Yeah, I think it'd be wise, especially at this time. I mean, we can look at it next year for sure, but if Mike's right in the middle of something that I need to step into, I
Yeah.
think he's best.
After this year, Darcy, it's yours for the next 2 years, that's fine with
Yeah.
me.
Yep, that
Okay.
works.
Okay, thanks, yeah.
We'll note that down, all right?
The Emergency Advisory Committee needs, it consists of the Reeve and 2 council members, so we do need 2 councillors named to that committee.
Yeah, Mr. Reeve, I'll take one of those positions.
Okay. Anyone else would like to take one of these?
I can go on if nobody else wants it, if somebody else wants it, I'm happy to let them do it.
Yeah, I'd like to also go on.
Okay.
Anybody else? Let's get 4 people in there.
Just kidding. So Ben and Dana. You want to go on, Ben, or Councillor Fadeev?
I mean, we can change it up too, right? I mean, it's
If
one
you
of
want
those
to go on,
things
then I'm
where.
happy to stay off of it for now.
Okay, Josh, if you want it, you got it.
You two are on.
Okay, fine.
Okay, so we have Councillor Swaga and Deputy Reeve Fideo on that.
The MD Rural Policing Committee, is that going to stay status quo?
It's good with me, unless somebody else wants.
Just a quick question in regards
Yep.
to the Emergency Advisory Committee. Since there's going to be some training and some desktop, I guess, analysis on the whole thing, do we bump that to a 2-year term? Because, I mean, to do it for 1 year, to go through all the points of training and everything else, I think a 1-year term is pretty soft.
The terms of reference indicate 1 year.
Does it? Okay.
We can certainly look at changing that if council wishes to 2 years, but right now, the terms of reference were adopted with a
Okay.
1-year appointment.
Yeah, I'd like to see some more conversation in regards to, Mr. Gandolfi on that, and, because he's the one that's going to be doing the training, and I think they need to get together twice a year on that, at least, so it'd be nice to see that go for 2 years.
No problem. I'm kind of going all over the place here. So that rural policing was a 4-year term, right? Yes, 1 year for members at large, yep.
Members of council are just 1 year.
Okay. We just kind of got, well, I did, I think Mike was on there for a while already, so I just.
I was there, and then we disbanded this committee. So last year, I got on again. If somebody wants the policing, fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody wants it, go ahead.
Okay,
Meetings,
I think
meetings
we're
are second Monday of the month.
I think we're good there. Let's go to transportation services. That's myself and Slipcheck. And Mike and Kraviak.
Transportation, yeah.
Yeah, on that one there, have you guys met this year already yet, or not?
Pardon me?
On the, like the
No.
MD Industry Liaisons Committee, have you guys met this year? Yeah.
Last, right at the beginning of the year, yep.
And through the Reeve to members of council, there is a meeting, Robin's working on dates right now with all of our industry partners, probably going to be looking towards the end of November.
Nice.
I think you only had like 2 meetings this year, that's it.
I thought we had one last year and then the beginning of this year, or did we have
Okay,
two
yeah,
this
me-
year? Yeah.
okay.
It's gone again.
Because the first big one we had was like in COVID there, so we were meeting on Zoom in the big, in the meeting upstairs.
Yes, we've met twice since
Twi-
last October with the industry.
Twice, yeah. Okay, on to environmental health services. Are we good with that?
Yeah.
Yeah? You're all right as the alternate still? Yeah. All right. Coal Lake Regional Utility Services, that's Counselor Swigert. Are you still okay with that, or
No, that's good, yeah.
you're okay? Everyone all right with that? Yeah, okay. MD Waste Reduction and Recycling, that's Deputy Reeve Fadeev and Swigert.
Fine with that.
Deputy Reeve?
The next two do not require reappointment at this time.
Oh, sorry.
That's fine.
It's pretty small print for the old man here. No, I'm talking about myself. Okay, so then we go to Public Health and Welfare, Lakeland Lodge and Housing Foundation, Counselor Kraviak and Counselor Slipchuk.
Yeah, I've been there for a while, so whatever, it's up to the people, up to
Everybody,
council.
everybody okay with that?
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
stay
he's
with
doing-
that one.
Doing a good job, Mike.
Yeah. All right, FCSS, Bonneville, that's Kraviak, Crick. Sorry, Counselor Kraviak, Counselor Crick, and Audrey Campbell. You guys okay with that still?
Well, I was just there this 1 year. We have to choose a member at large after.
Yeah, after, right? Yeah. So FCSS Coal Lake, that's Deputy Fideo and myself, alternate. You're still okay with that? Yep, very good. Greater North Foundation. If someone would like to take this, that'd be great, but if not, I'll keep it.
Mr. Reeve, this one is also an appointment to,
Yeah.
it was a 4-year term. Again, if you want to change that, you absolutely can, but it's not required today.
Okay. I guess I'll keep it. Environmental Development Services. It's 1 year. So that's Counselor Kraviak, Counselor Crick. Is that still good? You all right?
I'm okay unless somebody wants it.
Not seeing, no hands, so okay, that's good. Lakeland Agriculture Research, that's Lara. We have Slipchick, Counselor Slipchick and Counselor Crick as alternate.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Yeah, all right, we're good there. And then Northeast Alberta Hub, we have Counselor Scarson and Counselor Slipchick as alternate. All right, right, okay. On to Northeast Municorp, that's a 4-year term, that's Counselor Swigert and Counselor Slipchick's the alternate. Deputy Reeve Fideo?
Just a quick question, like, has it always been a 4-year term?
It has been for some time because there's all kinds of kind of training and stuff involved, and so they would like to keep it that way. As a matter of fact, there's a package, there's information in your package on that, the reasoning for that.
Yeah, that was a request for that, but just wondering, because it's, yeah, I mean, I think maybe all of council would have maybe liked to know that when we did choose that last year, right, at thing, it's a, yeah, no worries, I just looking for some clarity on if this was a term before or not.
I think Ed was on it the whole time last time, right? Yes, he was. Yeah.
Okay, we're good with that. On to MD subdivisions, that's appeal board. That's just 5 members at large, correct? Recreation, Culture Services, Bonneville District Leisure Facility, C2. We changed that already, didn't we? We still have myself and
Yeah, I took that one.
Counselor Swigert. Chamber of Commerce, Bonneville. We have Counselor Scarson. You all right with that? Yeah. Okay, we'll keep that the same. And then the same with the Chamber of Commerce in Coal Lake, Deputy Reeve Fideo.
Yeah, just guys, just let you know, I know with the city of Cold Lake, it's more like a liaisons part of it, and it's every third meeting that they have us do a quick little presentation on it, so I don't know how it's different with
It's
the
same
town
as
of Bonneville.
Bonneville, it's not a voting position, it's
Yeah.
just basically a,
Just tell
sit
them
and
what's going
listen
on,
and-
and, yeah,
yeah.
awesome, yeah, thanks.
Okay, still good with that. So we're on to Go East 710 Regional Tourism Board. That's Counselor Scarson again. You all right with that? Yeah, all right. Then we go on to Northern Lights Library Board. It's a 3-year term. And so we have Counselor Crick and Deputy Reeve Fideo as alternate. Are we still okay with that? I guess it's still appointed. And so Bonneville Municipal Library Board, Counselor Scarson, you're still good? Yep. And then the same with Cold Lake Public Library Board, that'd be Deputy Reeve Fideo, you're still all right with that?
Yeah, yes, I am. Just asking for clarity in regards to Bonneville's 1 term and Cold Lake's a 3-year term. Is there any reason why it's such a difference on there, on between the 2 library boards that should be the same?
Mr. Reeve, if
Yeah.
I may, these boards are put together by the city of Cold Lake and the town of Bonneville. And I was actually going to ask today, because our position on the Bonneville Municipal Library Board is not, it's not recognized as a member of
Voting member, yeah.
MD Council. We were just wondering if there was any appetite from council to request that member-at-large position currently held by an MD council member be recognized as an MD council member, because right now it's just, it's a layman position.
Yeah, I think we asked for that clarity a couple of years ago as well, and it's up to the town to allow that or not, right?
So
Remember
from the
that?
correspondence I found, looking back at those council agenda packages, it looks like the correspondence between the CAOs at that time was that the MD did put in a request to sit on the board, and the town did look at amending their bylaw to accommodate that request, but they incidentally had an open position at the time and offered that open position instead of amending their bylaw to specify it to be a member of the MD council. And that's what that's kind of what the MD went with at that time, to just accept that open position instead of requiring the town to update their.
So then it's not required of us to be on that board?
It's not required, no, it was requested by the MD at that time. And then they took the layman position instead of requesting the MD, the town to update their bylaw to specify it as being recognized as an MD councilor sitting in that position.
But formally, we're not,
Formally, it's just a layman position.
just a layman.
When did that switch, or was it always like that? And I don't,
about a year into the last term.
Sorry?
About a year into our last term.
yeah, it
So-
switched?
Yeah, so about 4 years now. Because we
Okay.
didn't have a seat there at all before. I think we may have before that, but
Yeah.
when I started here, we didn't have a seat there. And then we requested for one and,
And they rejected us?
no,
No?
no.
It looks like this
Well,
all
not for
happened.
voting.
This all happened in 2018, and the final motion was made by MD Council on July 25th, 2018. They made the motion that council recommend to the town that Councilor Scarson be appointed to the Town of Bonneville Library Board.
Yeah, Mr. Reeve?
Yes.
Yeah, I sat on that board for a number of years. In my first few terms, I don't remember when, but I was a counselor from the MD on
Yeah.
that board.
Yeah, and you were a voting member at that time?
I did vote, yes,
Yeah,
unless I wasn't supposed to, I'm not sure.
yeah, maybe, because
Well, I vote now, I don't know, I mean.
Oh, you do?
I think it's a voting member, it's just you're not a voting member as a representative of the MD.
Yeah.
You're just
Oh, he's
a
just
voting member on the board,
at large.
yeah.
Okay. That's strange. Now, do we want to request again to change that, or do you want to just keep it the same?
I don't know what would change, I mean, it's,
It's not a big deal? No.
Mr. Reeve, I think it was, they just said that they didn't want to have to change their bylaw, so they just
Okay.
kind of didn't. So, but I don't think it makes any difference to anybody on the board. You're still represented and you're
Yeah,
still
I
voting.
mean, they know I'm there, I guess, right? So
Okay.
some of the new board members might not even know the difference, right? I mean, it's a whole different board since I started there, right? So.
Okay. Well, we'll just keep it the same if everyone's all right with that?
If there's something you have to do to make it more whatever, official, I guess, or whatever, but as far as logistically goes, it's fine, right? I mean,
Okay. Did you have any,
If council's fine with leaving it, we'll leave it for sure. We just thought that might be a good time to bring it up since you guys were kind of doing a review of the actual list at the same time as the appointments this year.
yeah.
so actually, if he's sitting there, he's not really representing the MD then?
Officially, he wouldn't be recognized as representative of the MD.
Right, so I would, myself, I'd rather have him representing the MD than just being a, you know, if he's coming from here, I think he should be sitting on behalf of the MD, but. What's the rest of council?
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I just. You know, you have to ask them to change their bylaw.
That'd be the town of Bonneville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess the difference here would be right now, you guys would be appointing Counselor Scarson to the board, but really what we're doing is we're submitting that information to the town as a recommendation for them to appoint Counselor Scarson to the board. They don't necessarily have to follow it. They would just be choosing to go with our recommendation or not.
So we need a motion to go that way?
I don't know if we need a motion. We can just look into it, I'm sure.
I just suggest maybe you have a motion to write a letter if you need to do that to the town library board. To suggest they do that.
And through the Reeve Members Council, we can certainly speak to them. I don't think a motion is required.
Just-
Let's certainly speak to the CAO and ask them to amend their bylaw to make this an actual appointed counselor position. In our reality, it's probably, it's probably a moot point in that the counselor that's appointed by council to sit on that board, even though that their bylaw doesn't recognize it as a counselor, one would expect that a counselor here appointed to that board would be acting as a counselor on behalf of the MD anyway. But we can certainly talk to the town to have them amend their bylaw to make it official.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay. I guess that was the last one. So now we need a motion probably to carry it all. Is that correct?
I'll
Deputy Reeve
I'll
today?
make that motion to carry it off.
Okay.
Approve as amended.
Okay. Thank you, Deputy Reeve Fideo, for making a motion on behalf of council that council approves the following appointments of committee and board members effective October 26, 2022 as follows, and a great big list to the end. Any discussion on this? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. Carried, thank you. On to 6.1.
Thank you, Mr. Reeve, members of the council. The Bonneville District Society for the Protection of Cruelty to Animals, the SPCA, is a not-for-profit charitable society governed by a volunteer board of directors. Recognizing the importance of the protection of cruelty to animals in the Bonneville region, the SPCA board is requesting that a member of council join their board of directors, which will include a designated voting seat. As a contributor to the Bonneville and District SPCA, the board feels this will enhance their working relationship as well as giving the MD greater insight to the operations at the shelter. This will also allow the MD to have a voice in how the SPCA moves forward and conducts business. The SPCA board meets on the third Monday of each month, a minimum of 9 times per year. From October to March, they meet virtually via Zoom, which an invitation is sent out with a meeting package about a week prior to the meeting. The in-person meetings are conducted at the Neighborhood Inn. The special amendment to their bylaws allowing this change has been voted on and approved by the board at their September 26, 2022 meeting. The paperwork is being sent into the corporate registry and anticipated to be official very soon. Attached for council review is the Appendix A, the SPCA Board letter of request, and the administrative recommended action as the council appoints at their discretion to the Bonneville District Society for the Protection of Cruelty to Animals for a period of however time, how many years, at council discretion, effective October 26, 2022.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Hogan? Any comments? Yeah, Counselor Crick?
Yeah, I just not sure if we really need to have somebody appointed to this board even. The MD supports the SPCA and they seem to be operating fine without us. It just seems like an extra expense really to put a member on the board myself.
Thank you. Yeah, Counselor Scarson?
Well, I'm just curious what expenses would it be?
There's travel costs for the meetings and potentially a bigger commitment there if we're on the board. Potentially conferences too, I don't know if they have a conference, annual conference, the SPCA Association or not, but.
I mean, I get your point. I don't see it being a problem. I mean, we give them $50,000 a year. It'd be nice to have a bit of a say on what would happen to that money. Looks like most of their meetings are online, and when they're not, they're at the neighborhood inn, which isn't too bad, right? So, I'd put my name in for it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr.
Counselor
Reed, I'll
Swain?
make a motion that we appoint Counselor Scarson. Sounds like he's interested. One-year term
Yeah.
to start with, so let's go that way.
Okay, I guess we have. Thank you, Counselor Swager, for making a motion on behalf of council that council appoints Counselor Scarson to the Bonneville and District Society for Protection of Cruelty to Animals, SPCA Board, for a one-year term effective October 26, 2022. Any discussion on this motion?
I just think it's wise to, I mean, if we're giving any organization a significant amount of money to have a say in how it's spent, right? Instead of just handing them a check, doesn't hurt.
Well, I kind of agree with Counselor Crick. Like, I think they're doing a fantastic job already. I don't know.
So they're the ones asking for this appointment, right?
For why though? Like, what's the big ask? I don't know.
Well, who brought this forward? I'm not sure. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. They didn't, yeah, I didn't read nothing.
I also
Yeah,
got
Deputy Reeve?
yeah, you also have to remember, there's another organization in Cold Lake as well, and, you know, that we don't support financially, and if we go along this side here, we'll expect to see a letter from that group as well. They asked me to sit on that board, and my time commitments are just, not there for them, so I had to pass, but, that's something to keep in mind too.
Any other discussion? Okay, seeing none, I'll call for the vote. That's defeated. Do we need another motion? Nope. Okay, on to 6.2.
Thank you, Mr. Reeve. Members of council, the MD Ag Service Board, ASB, is an MD of Bonneville board that fulfills the mandate set out in the Provincial Agricultural Service Board Act and acts as an advisory to council in the development and promotion of agricultural policies and programs designed to meet the needs of the MD agricultural community. The ASB makes recommendations to council on ag matters affecting the municipality. The MD ASB board consists of 2 councillors and 3 members at large. The members at large for the MD ASB board, Mark Daviduc, Luke Tellier, and Blake Pikowicz, were appointed at the 2021 organizational meeting for the 21 to 25 term. The position of chair for the ASB is appointed by council on an annual basis. The MD ASB met last week and passed a motion recommending the appointment of Councillor Mike Kreviak as the ASB chair. Administrative recommendation is that council appoints Councillor Mike Kriviak as Chair of the MD of Bonneville Agricultural Service Board for a one-year term effective October 26, 2022, as recommended by the MD Ag Service Board.
Just looking for a motion.
Yeah, I'll move that we appoint Mike as or Counselor Kriviak as the chair of the Ag Service Board.
Thank you, Councillor Crick, for making a motion on behalf of council that council appoints Councillor Mike Kraviak as the Chair of the Municipal District of Bonneville Agricultural Service Board for a one-year term effective October 26, 2022, as recommended by the MD Agricultural Service Board, ASB. Any discussion on this motion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. That's carried. Thank you. On to 6.3.
Thank you, Mr. Reeve. Members of council, as per the Alberta Municipal Government Act, council must appoint one of the members appointed to the Composite Assessment Review Board, the CARB, as well as the Local Assessment Review Board, the LARB, as the chair. As per MD bylaw number 1742, establishing the LARB, and 1743, establishing the CARB, council shall designate one member of the Local and Composite Assessment Review Boards as chair for a one-year term by resolution of council at the organizational meeting. At the October 27, 2021 organizational meeting of council, Councillor Fedea was appointed as the LARB and CARB chairperson for the 2021-2022 term. Current members at large of the LARB and the CARB are Peter Charles, Rhonda Morin, and Ron Young. Administrative recommended action is that council appoints at their discretion as the chair of the Local Assessment Review Board for a one-year term, effective October 26, 2022, and the same for the Composite Assessment Review Board.
Yeah, Councillor Crick?
So is that supposed to be the council representative on that board, or is it can be any one of the members at large?
In theory, it could be any one of the members at large. It's always our recommendation that a councillor holds the chair.
I'll make a motion to appoint Councillor Fedea, or Deputy Fedea, as the chair to both of those boards.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Crick, for making a motion on behalf of council that council appoints Deputy Reeve Fedea as chair of the Local Assessment Review Board for a one-year term effective October 26, 2022, and furthermore, that council appoints Deputy Reeve Fedea as the chair for the Composite Assessment Review Board for a one-year term effective October 26, 2022. Any discussion on this motion, gentlemen?
Yeah, Mr. Reeve,
Yes,
just
go
the
ahead.
only discussion would be that it's already a three-year term, so I'm not sure why, like, those two boards are a three-year term till 2024. So
Why we have to redo this?
Yeah,
I'm not
well,
sure.
I'm not sure why this would be a one-year term, not also a three-year
It's
term.
indicated in the bylaw that the chair appointment is only for 1 year.
Okay.
There is no alternate, though. Right? Doesn't make a lot of sense because there's no alternate. If it has to be a MD counselor, then, and it's Counselor Fedea, then, right? Like,
In the
who
event
would it
that-
be next year? It would
in
be
the-
Counselor Fedea.
In the event that a chair is not able to attend a hearing, they can delegate that to someone else on the board. And do you mean like in terms of?
No, I know, I get that. I'm just saying, like, Counselor Fedea, if you're going to sit until 2024. So is that just a one-year term then?
By default, it's three, this should be done for 3 years, right, and by default. But I think in the bylaws, we have to follow the bylaws that it's recommended that we do it every year. So either we change the bylaws or we do this every year.
And through the reef, to council, just to separate two separate issues. The appointment is a 3-year appointment, the chair is an annual appointment to the chair. So that, those are two different things, and one is directed through the bylaw. So any member of the CARB or the LARB could be appointed by council to be the chair position. Having an alternate counselor sit at the CARB or the LARB would have some expense because there is significant training to sit as on both the Composite Assessment Review Board and the Local Assessment Review Board, which is why I believe in the past council has not appointed an alternate, because that would be training somebody for something that likely
Never have.
would likely not happen.
Yeah, because we could, a member at large, you could appoint them as the chair if they had the training as well, so. but-
Okay, so, so you're saying, Mr. CAO, that it doesn't have to be a counselor that is a chair?
No, the Municipal Government Act, it says it just, a chair must be appointed and doesn't indicate that it must be an elected official. It is always my recommendation that if we sit on a board, it should be a councillor or representative of the municipality that actually holds the chair position. So our bylaw indicates that it would be a councillor and that councillor would serve for a 1-year term as the chair to be reappointed. We could certainly bring the bylaw back to have it discussed by council to have the chair position appointed for the same term, but that's not currently the bylaw.
Okay, no, it's clear.
Claire? All right, any other discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. Carried, thank you. I guess I need someone to go into closed section. I need a motion to go into closed session.
I'll make a motion to go in closed section.
Thank you, Councillor Slipchuk. All those in favor, or sorry, call for the vote. Don't know where that came from.
FCSS in Cold Lake, city appoints the members.
Thank you. I guess we have a motion that we came out of camera. We need to call for the vote, or no? Sorry, Councillor Slipchuk made the motion to come out of. Okay, we need to vote on that, or yes? No? Okay.
I'll go ahead and make the motion that we assign Andrea Wood to the FCSES board.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Councillor Scarson, for making a motion on behalf of council that council appoints Andrea Woods as a member at large for the Bonneville and District Family and Community Services Support Services FCSS Board for a 3-year term to expire October 2025. Any discussion on this?
Yeah, Mr. Reeve?
Yes, go ahead.
Just a reminder, there's a meeting tomorrow at 7, so she would know. Okay.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. That's carried, thank you. On to number 8.
And Mr. Reeve, number 8 was what we just
Oh,
voted on,
yes.
the member at large.
Okay,
I make a motion to adjourn.
thank you, Councillor Scarson, for making a motion to adjourn. And we're going to take a 5-minute recess before we get into our next meeting. Oh, we need to call for the vote.